Sharan and Nikhil will read us a scene from Gunjan Saxena. So before we begin, can you give us a little bit about what has just happened in the film, and then we'll get into the scene.
So at this stage, Gunjan has gone for her
Entrance. Yeah.
and she gets rejected at
Physicals get
at
rejected.
physical she gets rejected because of a weight and height
Yes.
issue both, and she has in her head already accepted defeat because height is something she can't increase.
Yes.
So she's accepted that she's never going to be part of the Air Force.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with that emotion, with that somber mood, she just refuses to bounce back or do anything in life. Is when one fine
dejected, she's come back home and she's kind of just gone to her room and that's it. And her father senses something is wrong.
Take it away.
So the scene is interior Saxena house, Gunjan's room, day. Gunjan is sleeping. Anu, her father, enters the room with enthusiasm and opens the curtain. The morning sun hits her face and he encourages her, chalo, Gunjan, uth jao, come on.
I think Pankaj ji improvised. I think so. I think he opened the curtain thing, good morning, Gunju, like something. He just brought some spark right at the top of the scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something he did.
Then from Gunjan's point of view, we see as her eyes are like opening up and something placed right in front of her face and she pushes it aside. He's put something like right up there and she pushes it aside, still sleepy, and she asks, kya hai ye? And father says, tera future hai, pad le. And she...
I think tera future, like he just brought something very cute.
Scene.
Tera future, something he did, and he had the magazine in front of him.
He made the character very lively.
Very warm, very warm.
Went way beyond the words that were there. In a very good way. So he says ki tera future pad le. She's still in the bed in that mood and she like accepted defeat, saying ki future hai nahi to pad ke kya fayda hai. And Anu pushes, are pad to sahi Gunju, and pulls her blanket away. She notices that her father is actually now awake. She notices standing with a magazine, and on the cover of the magazine is film actress Rekha's photo right on the cover. And she's reading the headline, कि मशहूर अभिनेत्री रेखा ने 1 महीने में घटाए 15 किलो. And then she looks at the father suspiciously, smiles, encourages कि पढ़ आगे तो. Gunjan says कि रेखा जी ने छुआ, and then she dives into the article.
Just like reading,
रेखा जी ने छोड़ा भुना तला और मीठा खाना, पिया कद्दू करेले का रस, की बहुत सारी वर्जिश और इतनी मेहनत के बाद पाया अपना मनचाहा किरदार. After reading, she puts the magazine, closes the magazine and tosses it.
And seriously, Pankaj's reactions to each of these. I think he's giving when she's saying tala or meetha khana, wow, yes. These little punches that just elevates the moment.
It's outstanding. And then Gunjan tosses it aside and then says कि करेले का रस पी के वजन तो घटा सकती हूँ, लेकिन हाइट कैसे बढ़ाएंगे? असली दिक्कत तो हाइट है ना अभी. Now this brings me to like it's actually a little tough beat to crack because as an audience,
it's a correct, valid point.
Absolutely, and I'm thinking it as an audience.
Yes,
I've seen this film 2 days back. I know I felt
why is the father even pushing? Why? And we felt that issue ki yaar, is this a waste beat? But it is so true and so interesting. So how do we?
So literally, so this is something also that came literally from her life. Like when I met her father and he had told us about this Rekha magazine.
Yeah,
we were like, come on, like this can't be true. And he literally had the magazine, and it's from an actual magazine. Because I think if we didn't have that fact and we just wrote this scene, we would have not convinced each other that this is a good beat.
Yes.
It's like, this felt like thoda filmy beat. But when it happens in real life, it gives you the confidence to put it into the script. And we literally had this conversation. Height to the problem. No? So what?
Uska kya hone wala? How will, in this scene, how will it get addressed? What will happen? And I think now I'll be able to answer the question of dialogue that you had,
Yes.
Where she voices it, करेले का रस पी के वजन तो घटा सकती हूँ, लेकिन हाइट कैसे बढ़ाएंगे? असली दिक्कत तो हाइट है ना. And Anup says कि बेटा हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे, बाकी भगवान भरोसे. Gunjan given up in life, कि शायद भगवान को भी मुझ पे भरोसा नहीं.
This line we cut in the edit. Just as a nugget. because it was getting too talky.
Yeah.
Emotion was समझ आ रहा था.
This is the point now where we actually ran into an issue bumped into an issue okay, how do we solve? So we took
Emotion route.
the root of emotion and took the root of a lot of our elders, when they just tell us, give us one philosophical line and ask us to just have faith. We thought ki maybe that is the solution to this.
And which is literally what I think Anup sir had said, ki, know what's in your control.
Yes.
That idea and that in dialogue
And this
form.
is where we wanted to have this philosophy and this
Insight.
little insight, punchy dialogue packed
driven,
with a dialogue, कि बेटा जो मेहनत का साथ नहीं छोड़ते किस्मत उनका हाथ नहीं छोड़ती.
So this line applies in life.
It does.
It's a very simple line, but
Yeah.
has a ring to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because a lot of
Fortune
time-
favors the brave is that's what he's
Absolutely,
saying.
And, you and such a idealistic thought, it's like a logical problem, but with a philosophical thought.
Yes.
So like
so many times it happens to us na, that we are chasing X thing with a lot of vigor.
Yeah.
A lot of people will tell कि है ना वो दूसरा चीज भी आप करते रहो.
Yes.
Because sometimes a door will open from that route and that's exactly what the crux of this is. कि, keep whatever you're doing, do it with all the heart because we don't know where a door is gonna open.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to capture here. And as he continues, with this line, we see that little life coming back in her and she's taking notice.
Yeah.
Okay, कुछ तो बोला. And then he says कि एक महीना आंसू बहाने से अच्छा है पसीना बहा ले.
This is another dialogue which I got very attached. So I like these kind of nuggets.
Yes. It adds flavor to the scene. That's what it is.
We have something very heavy, then top it with a little, easy slice of life kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then it was that moment, smile.
Yeah, to arrive at this smile, this turnaround, ki, okay, this girl is now going to give it a chance.
Yeah.
So that was the graph that we had to crack, and then
Like the talking from the father's end is mostly done now. It's her trying
Reaction.
to internalize about it. And this is that moment, कि जो हम बात कर रहे थे कि भी हो गई ये बातें. Now the camera will be on her. She'll smile.
So
one look at
like
the
again, like from a writing
magazine.
perspective, like when we wrote the scene, we wrote it as her going into the blanket, the father standing. But there's something you do with your DP, with the actors, where the eventual blocking of the scene where we got, where the father comes and sits down next to her. And so father is sitting, she's lying down, and every time she wants to avoid him, she flips.
Yeah.
Like this is something that you can't totally crack on the writing. It kind of happens over there.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And that we see an insert of Rekha's photo, Rekha ji's photo, and she looks glamorous in
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's written there. And there's a before and after photo of her, and Gunjan says कि लेकिन पापा कैसे होगा ये Rekha diet? And then again he ends it on a sweet note कि क्यों नहीं होगा अगर रेखा जी कर सकती हैं तो गुंजन जी क्यों नहीं कर सकती. And in his own style.
In his own
So you have to realize that I think a lot of the dialogue for Pankaj sir, even if you give him straight lines, he say it with a certain charm that it just comes alive. Like
He'll bring life into this. It's a very simple line.
yeah.
like there's another moment in the film where the mother is saying, "आप गुंजन की side पे हो या मेरी तरफ?"
Yeah.
And father is supposed to say something of the dialogue or something कि मैं गुंजन के side पे हूँ. Something, it was like a little talky. He just looked at the Aisha ma'am and said, मैं तो बस इस तरफ हूँ on the back. Like he just is able, and so he's giving the same thought. And I think as a writer also, there might be a little play on the sentence, on the word, but he's giving that same, underlining the same thought in a way that only he can.
So
the elevation goes to the next level.
The one who understands writing and they know the objective of the line.
Yes.
So there is no issue at all with someone trying to change it as long as the objective is met.
Yeah. In the climax of Mahi, we had written some lines of it. I think Kumud sir and Raj both felt this, and they came to us and said that, at this point in the film, for the boy to say so much, it's too aggressive.
Yes.
At this point, he's kind of had his journey, and we should not say anything at all or something minimal. And I remember us feeling कि not say anything at all. मतलब, he said, "Don't worry, we'll manage it." I don't know if he said we'll manage it, but something to that extent that we'll do something.
Yeah.
Both of us were like, we'll do something. थोड़ा एक risk है उसमें. So we did our pass on it, and we really trimmed it down, and we came up with just literally 3 words.
Concise version of it. We had kept it as a backup. Let's see what they are doing.
We had kept it as a backup on set. But I think without any words, that moment, Raj and Kumud's magic, and I'll give them full credit for this moment, that they had the instinct to say that, at this moment, go less with it for maximum punch.
Absolutely.
And I think we experimented with it in terms of let's see how it works. Backup to hai hamare paas.
Yeah.
But that was so good that we chucked the backup out the window and we're just very happy. I think that was also good for me, where I like my structure and I like having a precise plan, that sometimes you got to leave room for that magic to happen. Yeah.
If you enjoyed what you saw, hit that like button right here, right now. Share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to TCP Originals.